Welcome to an incomplete guide to personal growth. We invite you to take a breath and take a listen to our podcast that explores the wonder, humor, challenges, and sometimes those self-inflicted wounds on the journey of personal growth.
Our weekly podcast conversations include stories, resources, and tools that you can incorporate into your daily life. We're the mother-daughter duo of Sydney West
and Kelly Arundel. Hey, Sydney.
Hi, Mom. You beat me this time.
I did. Oh, what a day.
Oh, man.
Beautiful out.
Oh, I know.
Beautiful
Finally
weather.
getting to be fall.
Finally. You can walk and not just sweat.
Fall.
Completely.
So,
Yeah.
Halloween is this week.
Oh.
You hate
this
holiday.
I try to figure out why. I don't know if it's because I had crappy costumes as a kid.
Oh.
I don't
Did
know
Oma
what
hand make them or something?
Oh,
no.
It wouldn't have been pretty. And so
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
You've
I love
always-
the going out and trick-or-treating. That was fun, but I don't like all
No, but
this
you've
stuff.
always disliked, like, even as we were kids, it was your least favorite.
I know. I'd
holiday.
really have to put effort into it.
Yeah.
And, get in the and thankfully I would just buy them.
Yeah, just
I
buy
wouldn't
costumes.
want to hand
There
make.
were a few
kudos to
times
those who can.
where it's like I had costumes that needed like makeup or hair or something,
Yeah,
and you would help.
and I
with
would do
You
that.
would help.
Yeah. But I people I
You would
watch around
never-
here, and it wasn't even October yet, and people
Oh
had
my
Halloween
gosh,
stuff out.
putting up their
And
skeletons and stuff.
Growing up, you used to get mad at me because
So
I
mad.
didn't decorate outside and stuff, and it's not me. I
No.
put Christmas, and that's about all the decorations
that's all
I
the
do.
seasonal
I
stuff
don't
you
care
do.
what holiday it is. And you thought I was so lame as a mom, and you told me so.
I did.
And then you had your own house, and you're like, this is
too much.
too much.
I don't have anywhere to store this stuff. I mean, like, you need so much space. I get it. I get it.
And then you take it down, then you put it back up, and then but some
Yes.
people, that is such a gift.
Yeah,
and
some
I'll
people are
drive
very
around,
good.
I'll see these houses
They're
that have
cute and-
different fall stuff out, and I think, well, isn't that neat?
And then they'll do like stuff for spring. It's like those are
Yes.
people that can just have the time.
And they have the
energy.
time, they have the gift of it.
Yeah.
I could put something out, and people would tell me to put it back in. Really, Kelly, that you don't need a wreath on your door. I mean, they encourage me to stop
that's
anyway.
so
So,
funny.
some people have it, and
Yeah.
thankfully it makes the neighborhood look fun.
That's true.
Some of us don't, and you think we're Scrooges, but we're really not.
No.
It's just that we just don't have that gift.
No. Oh my
So.
gosh. I know the whole,
Yeah.
I thought I knew I wasn't done with Halloween costumes, but it was like, I kind of stopped trick-or-treating kind of early.
Yeah.
I still today, like, I do not like dressing up. I don't like dress up
Right.
parties. I just don't want to do it. I just want to show up in my clothes.
Right.
But then now it's like with Charles, it's like,
all
what
over
is
again,
he
yeah.
gonna be?
I loved always when the kids would come.
Yes.
To the door.
It's
That
cute,
was so
cute,
fun.
cute. Yeah.
So there's aspects of it I like.
But
I
yeah,
want to be
overall,
on the giving,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do that. Yeah.
I get that. Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully everybody has a good Halloween, whether you
Yeah,
celebrate or
whatever
not.
you do, and then there'll be the debate of candy corn. Is it good or not?
It is good. There's no debate there.
Okay, sorry.
It's delicious.
It is delicious. It is too.
Oh my gosh. I like, and it's the only
That's the
month
only-
I ever buy candy corn is in October. I only eat it in October, which is
Yeah.
good because I'm not chewing on it all the time. But
Yeah.
it's, oh my gosh, love candy
I know.
corn.
I'm with you.
So
Pure
everybody else.
sugar. I'm that
It
way.
is. It is pure sugar. I love it.
Good deal.
Okay. So we just finished up our like seasons theme, and then we kind of have like this extra week this month before we get into our November theme of kind of like prepping for holiday, family dynamics, discussions, like
Self-care
all
during the
self-care
holidays.
So kind of getting into that in November, but this is
Yeah.
kind of in between fun week.
This
And our
is.
fun week, you kind of thought up of this concept
Yeah.
of inspirational words, or you even say you don't really have like just quotes, but like, I
have
don't know,
some quotes, but
concepts or
just
ideas and
things that inspire us or bring it, help us along wherever we may be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, per usual, I'm the person that does all the background work for this podcast.
I do background work.
I know.
It's just that you did it for this one. Give me some credit.
I'll give you a little credit. And so I was thinking, it's like, people really are drawn
Yes.
to inspiration, and like YouTube, like those pump up inspirational motivational videos,
Right.
Those are like very popular. People enjoy like or I guess get this extra feeling out of feeling motivated and hearing other people talk about doing things.
Okay.
And so I kind of was like, well, why do we? And honestly, I will say for me, a lot of inspirational quotes just sound so sappy and
Cliche-ish,
like very
sappy,
cliche and like really.
I know.
But I think so with quotes, and I like this. So I found this comment online. People, we have an appetite for well-expressed wisdom. And I think, I like that because it's like, the way that some quotes are, it's like, I would never have thought to put words that way. Use that phrase, use that wording. And like, I think especially if you're somebody that likes to read, seeing words written well in a way that like conveys good meaning and stuff. It's like your brain kind of like tickles because it feels good.
That's great. Yeah, it is. And it's sometimes when you hear them differently, it's shock. Maybe we've heard that idea before. Yeah. When you hear it, metaphors and things like that, when they shock us or make us think differently, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's like one good reason. Another reason is like sometimes a lot of these inspirational quotes are like, they're in like this parallel construction. So it looks very symmetrical. It reads very symmetrical. Metaphors are kind of like that. Rhyming aphorisms. People really like things that rhyme, help kind of, your brain get a little massage there. And then another thing I think when it comes to these like motivational speakers, and then also like if we hear a quote, let's say Oprah Winfrey or, Gandhi, or so it's like, we're aspirational, generally humans tend to be aspirational people, and we like to look up to role models. I mean, think your entire child, you're looking up to a role model. And so, you kind of look out for those. And then the quotes, generally, if they're good, they give a sense of perspective, like we talked about. They inspire some hope, and then also can like bring a sense of community. It's like generally these quotes can be applicable to almost everybody, so you feel like you're not the only one needing to hear something.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I found that are like because it's true. It's like, well, why do we care? Why do we care about quotes? Why do I care about words being spoken by this person in this way? Why do It's like, and what's the point?
I think as you're talking, I thought, when I hear something, a quote or I read something, it's a sentence, whether it's a quote, I wouldn't call it a quote, but it's something, and I go, and I carry it with me for a few days or weeks, whatever it is, to go, and then it's something I can come back to. Yeah. When I'm needing that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and as you say that, there's this thing on the wall over there.
Oh, yeah.
That says,
I'm right where I need to be.
Yeah, but it isn't centered.
Right? It's not centered.
And that's the point of it. I'm right where I need to be.
That's good.
And that's so funny. Because it's like, well, you really wouldn't write it that way, would you? No. But see, we're not always centered, but we're where we need to be.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I like that. That's nice.
How about that?
So
excuse me.
I think, or we could take turns. Like I could say one, you say one, like go back and forth.
Sure.
So the first one, I was like trying to do this, like I'm some quotes. I'm like, I don't know. Like I just don't stuff off the top of my head. But I was like, who's somebody that I really like, either their writing or their speaking or whatever. It's like, okay, well, I really like Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou. So I was like, well, let me look up some quotes by Maya Angelou. So this is one that I think speaks to a lot of our podcast and what we talk about a lot. Okay. I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Really?
Yes.
I like that. It's so good. And it's just like, and we've talked about that a lot. It's like, well, we do at the time what we know. But now that we know more, shouldn't we, do more, do better?
It's a wonderful way because to me, it's gentle.
Yes.
Because it's not beating myself up for what I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yet it calls me to move forward.
Yes.
In a positive way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not judging your past self in any way.
It's not judging you idiot. It's not doing that. It's
just being realistic. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that one.
So, had to put some Maya Angelou.
Yeah. Oh, she's just fantastic, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I read, so I'll tell a quick story. I read, was it I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, that song?
Yeah, that's
so, but let me give you background. some Cassie, who we've had on this podcast.
Yeah.
She did the 30 before 30 episode. So we generally like will pick some books and read them together and catch up and stuff. And so she was like, well, I hadn't read this book. I was like, I hadn't read it either. Let's read it. Literally, we had no background. I didn't read anything about this book ahead of time. I was like, it's Maya Angelou. I know what the Kitchen sings. In my head, I almost kind of thought background, like fiction is maybe something. Oh my God. No, it
Powerful.
is so intense. It's all about her childhood growing up, which was dark as heck.
Right.
And you just see how she is, and you're like, how?
Yes.
But so I will say, I read Maya Angelou, and I read the book, and I was like, it's like with no expectation.
No expectation. Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, this is what this book is about.
Yes. And then you go, what an incredible person.
Right. To be where she is.
To get to where she was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or it was, yeah. But my God. Yeah. So that's my background of Maya Angelou.
That is great. That is great. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have Joan Chittister, who I think I've quoted in the past. And this comes from her book, Scarred by the Struggle, Transformed by Hope.
Yeah.
And it says, and yet, if we give up in the midst of a struggle, we never find out what the struggle would have given us.
Oh, that's so good.
Because a struggle is a struggle. You know, it's not a joyful, you know.
Yeah.
But we are always, or we can be, if we allow ourselves, we'll be gifted by that in the end. Not the next day, but down the road, there will be some true gem that you will you'll find within yourself that gave you.
I like that. Yeah. And then, you won't know.
Yeah.
You give up.
If you give up, then it's always that, I wonder what.
Yeah. That
could have
so
been.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. Okay. My next one. So then I was like, okay, I like my Angelou like already. Who's somebody else that I like read all the time and really Thich Nhat Hanh.
Yes.
Okay, all the time. This is, I think, from his more recent one, Fear. The past no longer is. The future is not yet here. There is only one moment in which life is available, and that is in the present moment. And I really like that term, available. Like, life is not available in the past, because life is not available in the future. You're not there. This is where you can be in life and live it, is like right now. And I love, because I'm just somebody that always needs to be reminded that you're here all the time. Yeah. So it's like, you are here. You like worrying about the future too much is not going to help you. Like, reviewing every mistake that you've made is not going to help you. I mean, in a way, but like, not for your well-being.
You can't dwell in it.
No.
You go, okay, that then.
Yeah. If you're going to dwell anywhere, dwell in the present and like, be there.
Yeah. I like that too, because we can be in the most happiest, in a happy time. But we'll miss it if we're thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow.
That's true.
So, so it goes for both, happy and. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to stick with Thich Nhat Hanh for now, because because
I just brought it. Yeah.
So, this is a thing, and it's not necessarily a quote, but when we look into the heart of a flower, we see clouds, sunshine, minerals, the earth, and everything else in the cosmos in it. Because a flower cannot exist without all the others.
Yeah.
And the reason I like that, because it reminds me what I'm created of.
Oh, yeah.
What nourishes my body. Where
did you come from?
Where did I come from? The people, all this, we don't live, he calls it interbeing. I love it.
I love it.
We don't live by ourselves. And that reminds me that I am a part of this universe, and the universe is a part of me. And it connects me to community. Yeah. To the small community, to the larger community. It just reminds me of the greatness of all things.
That's so good.
The flower. Yeah. Oh, it's made of this. Well, it's made of a lot of things.
Stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So. That's good. That's a good one to like help give you perspective on, like, if you think that like your troubles are too big, or like you start to get too big in yourself.
In yourself.
That's a good one.
I'm a part of everything, and I depend
on a lot
of things.
Yeah. So, I love that one. Then I continued with my who do I like to read author.
Right.
Next one is Barbara Brown Taylor, who we mentioned. One of my, I read Holy Envy by her, and Altar in This World is another one. She's a great very good. One book, when I was doing this research, I was looking up, she wrote, I can't even remember the title, but it was basically just like a commentary on the church.
Leaving church.
Yes. And I'm like, that's fascinating that she's somebody that left it, and like, this is
and
why.
And she's a professor, and this is why, but she is still very much a part of her. Yeah. It's not like throwing throwing it all out.
Yeah. So I need to read that book next.
Yeah, it's a good book. It's the title can be maybe off-putting.
Yeah.
But it's a really good book.
Okay. Yeah. I can't remember which book this is from. But anyway, every human interaction offers you the chance to make things better or to make things worse. Ooh. Isn't that good?
Talk about responsibility.
Right? It's like, so interacting with people, you can either help make their day better or you're going to help make their day
It's on
worse.
You. Don't blame. You're not,
Yeah. Now, I think you can't take this too far and think, like, I had this bad news that you had to tell somebody, or maybe you had a hard thing to tell. It's like, no, like, that's not what we're talking about. It's how do you treat somebody else.
But how do you give that news?
Yeah. Do you give it in a compassionate way? Do you give it, it's
so
like,
but I get that.
But it's like, how are you interacting with people? You can either, spin it and keep their day going well, or you can spin it and then like hurt them. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Isn't that good?
That is.
I know, responsibility, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I think maybe I think it's inspirational because I think it makes you stop and think for just a second. How am I coming across?
Right.
It's like whatever has happened to me is not this person's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have debating between these two. This is just from a song.
Okay.
Billy Carrington.
Okay, don't know who that is.
You wouldn't. It's a country singer, and
okay.
you would probably know. It's called. It's just in the song. God is great, beer is good, and people are crazy.
Oh yes, that song.
I laugh every time I hear that. I think that's just my funny.
We were thinking, both of us were talking to each other at a time.
Trying to find a funny.
We're like, I don't have a funny quote. I don't have a funny quote. All I have are these serious ones. And then we go. There's our funny quote in there.
That and George Carlin, a comedian, he put, and I thought of this one because I'm in the fantasy football's going on.
Yes, oh my gosh.
And I'm the worst at, I will say this.
You're
this
competitive.
Quote, it's never just a game when you're winning. So, I can say, I'm not taking this serious. I'm just playing at it until I get in the lead. And then I'm like, okay, how do I stay in front of all these people?
My gosh, that is so you.
It is, isn't it? Oh, it's just a game. I'm not taking this serious at all. And then I get in the lead and it's like, okay, everybody out of my way, right?
Yes.
And this is, and I have a really
this
bad
is something
team this year, so
that
it's
we
like,
could send to almost every person on your side of the family,
I know,
and they would agree with.
So bad.
You're so bad.
Or so bad.
Bad.
So I have to put this in. My Amari, my nephew, he sent me this ridiculous trade. He wanted me to trade for some tight end for my running back, Kamara, and he's just real good, and got me points, and he sent me this request for a trade, and I was like,
what?
And so I just sent it back. I was like,
no,
it makes me points, and then Julie said he was messing with you, and he was laughing as he was sending it to you. And so I thought, when I first got that, I thought, he either thinks that I would do anything for him.
Right.
And I put in parentheses, and I would, except for fantasy football.
That is funny.
Isn't that funny? Or that I'm really lame. But anyway, so it was funny.
He was messing with you. And even he knows.
Even he knows to mess with me. So,
that is so funny.
So it's never just a game when you're winning.
Yes. That's so good. Yeah. I love that one.
But,
do you want to do a serious one?
Yeah,
or do you want me to keep going?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Your turn, then I'll.
Well, okay. My other two things that I've left, they're not like specific quotes, but I always have to throw in Psalm 139. Even if you're not Christian, you need to just read it.
Yes. Oh, I think I love. I'm with you.
Oh my gosh. Just like, well, you can start it.
That's a go-to.
Yeah, I think it's a go-to of just like somebody cares about me and knows me and knows where I am and
The
beautiful
beautiful part of you
and the horrible parts and
Yeah.
everything in between and loves and
me.
accepts. Yeah. Yeah.
That is my go-to. And I think some of these are quotes, but others are thoughts of go-to. Like Psalm 139, that's a whole chapter. I can just pick a verse from it and go to it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's those.
Yeah.
And there another one that I do, it's not even a quote. It's a go-to thought. I think it's called the Canadian Creed.
Oh,
anyway,
we live in God's world.
Yeah, and it starts out, we live in God's world. We are not alone. And that's all I need to know some days, that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And
That's a good one.
It's not just my world, and I'm not dependent just on me. There's these people that are gifts and graces and things, and we're not alone.
That's so good.
And sometimes I need to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So and Mark Twain has one.
I love him.
And a lot of his are fun. This is good. This is just serious. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. And I think anger can be within.
It can eat
it's
at you.
Just in me, and it can just eat at me if I let it. And it can color my whole world, my whole interactions, and destroy in me. And I do believe that emotions and stuff affect us physically, and anger can do a lot of things physically to us. So but I love that.
That's so good.
I may spew my anger and it can do damage, but when I'm holding it within,
it's even worse.
It will eat and rot me.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
My last one is just a song that I think you've brought up before that you really like, Brave by Sarah Bareilles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was just like a good one to remind yourself that like
empower.
Yeah, that you already have it all. Like you have the bravery that you need. It's just in you. You know? Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the quotes do for us.
Yeah.
They're reminders. They recenter us. They remind us who we are and what our values are, what our beliefs are, all that kind of stuff. And
and they like reassure you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any others?
It's a go-to.
Okay.
And I don't know that I have a quote.
No, but
it's about impermanence and change.
Yeah.
And when things are really joyful, as well as when things are difficult or just meh, is that the word?
Meh.
Yeah,
now I'm going to go around saying meh. Sorry.
When things are just meh. It's not forever.
Yeah.
It's this moment.
Yes.
And I don't have to cling to the joy and think, oh, hold on to it.
You'll never experience it again.
Because it will, and it'll be different and beautiful as well. And when things are really hard, I go, okay, this is hard right now. I'm going to walk with hard. I'm going to walk with fear right now. Hello, fear. Let's go for a walk. Yeah. And I'm going to walk with you. But then something else will take your place.
Yes.
And so it's knowing that
I like that.
the impermanence.
Yes.
And part of that is, and this will be my last one.
No, you're good.
It's about having faith as a grain of mustard seed, because it starts out the tiniest of seeds and it grows big, and if I have that and stick with it, we can do a lot.
Yeah.
Hope in whatever your faith may be.
Yeah.
Across religions and spirituality, the belief in something bigger.
Yeah.
Again, I'm
definitely
not alone.
Yeah.
So, but I like and this. God is great, beer is good, and people are crazy.
People are crazy.
People are crazy. Because I am.
Yes, exactly.
It's all of that. Because if I can see the humor and the craziness of myself,
you
then I appreciate it in everybody else. The quirks,
people.
the this, the that. It's.
Oh yeah.
It's just good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I like it.
So.
Well, that was fun. So I
that's
hope
it.
some people maybe got some.
I love to hear your quotes.
Yes,
if
you
there's
have any
something
quotes,
that inspires you, or
we'll post on Instagram. You can comment on our YouTube, send us an email, whatever it is. Yes, because I really like and I like inspirational quotes. A lot of them can be kind of cliche and cheesy, but I think there are some like these that we kind of shared that are a little more, realistic and like kind of just reassuring. You know?
And here's my own.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm not procrastinating. I'm waiting for inspiration.
That can be
It's worked for years.
Ways.
It is. I just wait. I'm not procrastinating. I know it's. I'm waiting.
And it generally works out for you.
And it generally really works out for me. Because I'm listening, opening. Even when it looks like I'm not doing anything, I'm going to walk. I can be sitting around.
All I'm saying, if we said that to you as a kid, and with our homework, that would not fly.
No, that just works for me.
But I like it. So go tell your boss, I'm not procrastinating.
I'm waiting for inspiration. Yeah, and it will come.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a great thing to end on.
Yeah.
So yes, next month we start kind of talking about family dynamics, holiday burnout, holiday prepping for that, self-care with that, communicating with family boundaries.
Humor in there.
And hopefully, yes, a little bit of humor, because November is kind of prime time month before we get into all the craziness.
Yeah, it all hits, doesn't it?
Yes.
A lot of holidays going on.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Which involves family and others. So, there you have it. All right. So we look forward to next Tuesday when we take a breath and take a listen.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of An Incomplete Guide to Personal Growth. There are many ways you can stay connected. Follow us on Instagram at An Incomplete Guide Podcast, where you can sign up for our email list and get posts that delve deeper into our weekly topics. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast page wherever you listen to your podcasts. We would really appreciate a rating and sharing us with your family and friends.
We're so glad you chose to spend your time with us, and hope there was a thought, a resource, or a laugh that you can take on your journey. We'll be here every Tuesday for you to take a breath and take a listen.